Hey, wonderful people. Welcome back to this YouTube channel. Let's talk about HTML table headers. Okay. So HTML tables can have headers for each column or row or for many columns and rows. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about HTML headers. So in HTML, if you want to define your headers, you are going to use the HTML element or tag, which is written like this, th. Okay, so th stands for table header. Okay, so each table header element represents a table cell. So for example, here, as you can see, so these header 1, header 2 here are headers. And you can also see by the way they are displayed, they are bold. So that's the way to tell the browser that these are headers. Okay, so by default, when you write like this, your headers are going to show horizontally. Okay, they are going to display horizontally. What if you want to have vertical table headers? Okay, so if you want to use the first column of your table as table headers, you have to define the first cell in each row as table headers. Okay, so what I mean by that is that, for example, here the headers are showing horizontally. If I want the headers to show vertically, what I'm going to do is that, let me just remove the style here first. What I'm going to do is, in here, I'm going to cut it, paste it like this, and cut this, paste it here, okay. I'm going to add another table row, I'll put it like this one, paste my table data here, paste it here as well, cut this, and paste it here. And so now you can see that my headers are showing vertically. Okay, because what I've done is that I have defined the first cell in each row here as table headers or as table header elements. So I have tr table row, and inside my table row, the first element I'm declaring, is going to be the table header here. So the same here, table header as the first element. The third one here, table header as the first element to be specified. So that's basically how you can do that. But if you want to display your table headers horizontally, you have to write a table row, and inside the first table row, you're going to put all your table headers in there so that the browser is going to display these headers horizontally. So that's the first thing that we can see. Another thing that we can talk about is how to align your table headers. Okay, if you want to align your table headers. So by default, table headers are going to be bold and centered. But let's say, for example, if you want to align your table headers to the left or to the right, how are you going to do that? So we are going to use CSS properties to do just that. So let's come here. We will say th for table header, curly braces, and inside the curly braces we're going to say text align. So this is a CSS property. Text align will be left. For example, if you want to align your table headers to the left. So now you can see that the table headers are aligned on the left. So if you do not use this property, as I said, by default, the table headers are going to be centered and bold. So you can play around with CSS properties to change that. So if you say left, they are going to align on the left. If we say right, they are going to be on the right. Now you can see they are showing on the right side of the cell. Okay, so I will say left here. So that's how you can do that. And another thing that we can actually talk about, even the color, you can change the color of the text, okay, using CSS property. But CSS is not the purpose of this particular video, but just telling you what you can do, what kind of properties you can apply to these table headers. Another thing that we can see here is that let's say, for example, you want to have a header that spans over 2 or more columns. How are you going to do that? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So we will say that this is going to be a table header. For example, I would say header 2, and then I'm going to remove the headers from here. And if I do like this, okay. So we want header 2 here to span over 2 columns, to span over this column and the third one. What we are going to do is that we will come to header 2 and use the attribute call span. So call span, we will say 2. So 2 here is going to be the number of columns we want this particular header to span over. So now you can see our header is spanning over these 2 columns. So that's just how you can do that. So I'm going to make a special video on call span and row span in another video. Okay, so that's for call span. But if you want to use the row span, like if you want your header to span over 2 or more rows, for example, I will show you how to do that. Okay, so what you're going to do here is that we will say like this. And in here, we leave it like this. And we will have this one. Okay. So what we are going to do here is that we will use the row span. The row span is going to make sure that we are going to span over 2 or more columns. Okay. So what we are going to do now, we will come to the second header here. We will say row span equal to like this. So now when we do that, you can see that header 2 here is spanning over this row and this one. As simple as that. But we're going to have a video where we will talk in details about call span and row span attributes. So as for this video, the last thing that we can talk about is the table caption. So what if you want to add a caption that will serve as a heading for the entire table? Okay. So in order to add a caption to a table, you have to use the caption tag. And the caption tag, you have to use it right after the table tag. So here we'll come and say caption, and we'll say table caption. But you can put whatever title that describes, the content of the table. And I'll say caption like this. So now you can see that we have a caption for our table. Okay, and as I was saying, the caption tag should be inserted immediately after the table tag here. So that's what you need to keep in mind. All right, guys, so we are going to stop here for this video. If you have any question, as usual, write them in the comment section, and feel free to like the video if you want, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos like this one. Let's meet in the next one.